What's up everyone, this is Nikhil from Greedy Tech and this is the complete review of ZUK Z2 Plus. This is the new bad boy from Lenovo, and as always, Lenovo was the first to bring out new devices, and this here is a phone from ZUK. Just for marketing purpose, Lenovo is marketing this phone as Lenovo ZUK Z2 Plus in India, and probably everything will be handled by Lenovo itself. So let's look at what's good, what works, and finally we will end with the issues and disappointments. So it is the smallest device in India with Snapdragon 820 processor, and that's the same processor you can find in OnePlus 3. It has two variants, 32GB with 3GB RAM sold at 18,000 rupees and 64GB with 4GB RAM sold at 20,000 rupees exclusively on Amazon.in. The main USP of this device is performance and smaller form factor. So for anyone who wants performance in smaller package, this is the best choice. Like all the current generation smartphones, we have all the basic sensors including gyroscope, white LED notification light, OTG support, dual SIM support with dual 4G, it has VoLTE support, and finally no SD card support. Both the 32GB and 64GB variants should be sufficient for regular use, so I don't think anyone will miss out the SD card. On the sale page, Lenovo boasts about professional sensors and UHealth app. They are mostly marketing stuff, and you can find all the sensors in other flagships too. It comes with the latest version of Android 6.0 Marshmallow out of the box. We have doors and now on tap features. It has a custom skinned UI called ZUI, which is kind of different, with a redesigned notification area and notification toggles, which we will come back to at the end. It has a 5-inch Full HD display, so pixel density is more than what you need. It's normal IPS display, nothing too good to brag about, but it's bright and has good sunlight legibility. We have the options to change color modes, and double tap to wake works too. We have 2.5D glass panels on the front and back, which make it a fingerprint magnet. We are not sure about the name, but they seem strong enough. No scratches so far. If I know anything, I'll add that name in the description area, so do check it out. It comes with oleophobic coating, so it helps in minimizing smudges, and the display itself is very smooth. The entire phone is held together by a fiberglass frame, which is supposed to be lighter and stronger than aluminium. It kinda feels solid, but I heard people complaining about dents already. They didn't drop it, but even with smaller bumps, they could see dents. I personally didn't have any issues like that. We get a plastic case free in the box. It can protect your device from scratches, but not from drops. So get a better one as soon as possible. We have only one physical button on the front and no capacitor buttons. The single button alone can do many things, and hence the name multifunctional button. You can touch it to go back, touch and hold it to go to the home screen, press to go to the home screen, press and hold to open the now on tap feature, swipe to switch between applications. You can swipe left or right. You can double tap the button to go to the recent apps page. Besides all these tricks up its sleeve, it is also a fingerprint scanner which can register up to 5 fingerprints and works as good as any flagship out there. If you don't like to use the button for the navigation purpose, you can always turn on the on-screen buttons. We have some options to customize the physical button, like changing actions for long press and double tap, and that's all. We don't have any options to configure the on-screen buttons. Now let's look at the performance itself. These are the benchmark scores. There are places when you see the actual performance, like installing apps, opening apps quickly, playing games without any lag and very less heating issues. It does all that without any problem. It does not have any heating issues. At least it did in the beginning when I first unboxed it, but after 2 to 3 updates there is no problem. Occasionally it heats up while installing a lot of apps and while playing games, but most of the time it's completely negligible. While playing games, I have seen a maximum temperature of 40 degrees, and while charging I've seen 44 degrees at max, and at that time it was really hot. So while you charge your device, just put it aside. Don't try to use it at the same time. Next we have all the input ports at the bottom. We have the regular audio jack, which is just okay, nothing impressive here. Next we have the mono speaker, which is once again nothing impressive, it is decently loud. Now let's come back to the cameras. Well, the camera performance is average at the best. Well, it's definitely good enough for the money, but it's not flagship material. It has a 13 megapixel shooter on the rear without optical image stabilization and an 8 megapixel front facing shooter. Just for comparison, it's better than Lenovo Vibe X3 but nowhere near Mi 5 or the OnePlus 3. So you can check out my camera review and camera comparisons for more information. Now this beast is powered by a decently large 3500 mAh non-removable battery. It supports quick charging but doesn't come with a quick charge adapter. Instead you get a normal 10 watts power adapter that can charge your device from 10 to 100% in 150 minutes. If you use a Qualcomm quick charger 2.0 or 3.0, you can charge it in 90 minutes. I got that result by using Mi 5's power adapter. I got more than 4 hours of screen on time on regular basis with varied usage scenarios. Now let's look at the bad and disappointing stuff. Call quality isn't at its best, or at least it isn't as good as other devices. I would say it's about 80% good. You can take others' opinion on this, but I personally had issues with few calls. I don't know if it was my network problem or there was problem on the other side, so don't take what I said seriously. So take opinions from others about the call quality. So I'm like everyone, or at least a regular Indian consumer who wants the best value for money. And in terms of that, Z2 Plus is truly a killer deal. I said it before and I'll say it again. I would rather buy this phone instead of OnePlus 3 just to save some money. That stays true even now because I would root the phone and flash a custom ROM. But if I was to talk about just the out-of-the-box experience, it's simply bad. In terms of out-of-the-box experience, I would rather choose Vive X3, Mi 5 or OnePlus 3 over Z2 Plus. I won't think twice to spend the extra money for a better UI or a better user experience. So ZUI, the current OS on Z2 Plus, is simply bad. It opens apps quickly, but the rest of the UI simply sucks. With a phone of this caliber with Snapdragon 820 processor, we expect it to run around like crazy, but this phone simply walks. UI isn't laggy, it's just slow. It takes up a second even to load settings. It has no RAM management issues, but it has software related issues. Some applications are picked up from the memory, and some apps are simply restarted every time you open them from the launcher. Sometimes background apps are killed and sometimes they are left alone. On the whole, a very inconsistent OS. We have a very unique multifunctional key. It's the most unique thing about this phone and still isn't consistent. Sometimes it unlocks the phone in a fraction of a second and sometimes it takes a couple of seconds. We can swipe the button to switch between applications, and this was the only new thing about this button, and that too isn't perfect. It's not the same thing as using recent apps to switch between applications. When you switch applications by swiping the button, it takes you to the previous app, but it will not take you to the place where you left it previously. So that's the difference. So I know I'm not able to explain this clearly, but I'll show you that in my tips and tricks video. Next, we have a redesigned notification bar and notification toggles. Both are a disaster in their own way. Notification bar is not responsive. We can't expand notifications like on other devices, and the notification bar just feels empty. So maybe it's a personal choice. I don't like it. These are the software related issues, and if you don't think it's a big deal, then you can live with it. And if you are like me who hate it, flash a custom ROM, rooting won't void your warranty. So that's another good thing about this phone. Now that brings us to the conclusion. It's a great phone for people who want a smaller beast and for tech enthusiasts. If you're a normal user who doesn't see much difference in the UI, then it's okay for you. But if you come from Motorola phones or phones with stock Android, you might get irritated like me. As it stands now, with the current UI, I wouldn't recommend this phone for regular people. You can consider Lumax 2, Mi 5 or the OnePlus 3 instead. But for tech enthusiasts and who don't care about the software related issues, you can definitely buy this phone. It's truly the best value for money. So that's pretty much it for this video guys. I hope you like this video. If you do, hit that like button, and if you have any comments, complaints, suggestions or feedback, feel free to leave that below this video. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel already, do subscribe and stay tuned to us. This is Nikhil from Greedy Techs signing off. Have a nice day.